Minecraft has been around for over a decade, and over the years has completely transformed several times to the point where it's almost unrecognizable as the same game today. That's why I've taken it upon myself to take you back in time and explore every version of Minecraft that has ever been released. I want to see how the world of Minecraft evolved from a simple sandbox game about building with blocks to a world sprawling with life in which you must fight for survival, explore sprawling caves and giant mountains, protect villages from raids, and adventure into unknown parallel worlds. So join me as we dig through time and uncover the history of Minecraft's development block by block. What's this? What is this? Uh-oh. We've got mobs. That was the stupidest intro I've ever thought to do. Anyway, yes. So welcome back to Block by Block. As you can see, our world is infested by crazy people. Alright, so I'm a bit livid about everything that's been going on, because I just spent about 3 hours building this whole thing over here. It was all on video, it was awesome, and I don't know what happened, but for some reason I lost, out of about 3 hours of recording, I salvaged 3 minutes. And a lot of it was black screen. So I have no idea what happened, but I'm going to watch the recording very carefully. And anytime I do anything out of the ordinary, I'm going to watch it. Anyway, so I don't know exactly what I covered in the meantime. Let me pull up my notes real quick. I guess I'll just run through the numbers real quick and sum up what's going on here, because you guys are probably really confused looking at this whole city. So this is update RD 132328, and as mentioned, this is the first version that features humans, or mobs. Okay, so long story short, as you can see, these guys use the generic Steve model that many of you, I'm sure, are familiar with. This is the early Steve model as well, so you can see he's got a mustache, a beard. Steve today does not have a beard. That's an old thing. But this is the model that will go on to be used as the generic player skin. But for now, it's just used to test the capabilities of mobs and such. I don't think this is a mod that was ever intended to be in later builds of the game. I think this is entirely an entity that was designed just to test how the game could handle entities. Because so this particular mob comes from a project that Notch was working on before Minecraft called Zombie Town. I'll splash some information on screen about what Zombie Town was, as well as some footage, which you're probably seeing right now. So you can see from that footage, that's where this strange animation comes from, where they're just kind of running around aimlessly. Now, I'm actually not entirely sure what I should call these guys, because normally I would just call them by whatever their the update page says they are. But the update page refers to these mobs as humans. But it also mentions that internally in the game's files, they are referred to as zombies. I don't actually, when I actually look at the humans page on the Minecraft wiki, it doesn't mention the zombie trivia at all. And it claims that their internal ID is actually just generically mob, whereas other mobs are actually given their specific names. So it's seeming to me like these guys are going by 3 different names. They're either human, mob, or zombie. And I could, if it was internally referred to as a zombie, then I can definitely see why the Minecraft wiki would list them would come up with the name human, differentiate them from the zombies that would later be added as separate mobs. But these guys are definitely not zombies. I imagine if it is in the code, I imagine the name zombie probably comes from Zombie Town. It's probably just a remnant of having copied and pasted code from Zombie Town, in which the characters in the game are probably referred to as zombies. Maybe because they transform over time or something. Who really knows? Nobody knows but Notch. That's the secret. So anyway, I did a couple builds, or rather, I have a couple builds ideas. You'll notice. Oh, jeez. You'll notice these guys don't have a whole lot of intelligence. They'll just wander around aimlessly. But because of that aimless wandering, they will wander into pits. They will wander into traps and stuff. So you can see they've fallen in there. And I've had the one trapped over here in this area. So this whole area is intended to be a sort of playground for the humans to run around in. I have some footage of that from after I lost my recording, so I'll play that here, but long story short, I'll probably just load it up again and get more footage, honestly, because that's most of what I salvaged is pretty unusable without context. But thankfully, I was able to save the intro, and the intro that intro was pretty stupid. Anyway, but it was funny. It made me laugh. I liked it. So this type of thing happens, and the ironic thing was, while I was doing this build, I was just talking about how this sort of thing was basically inevitable. So I can't be too mad. I already expected it to happen eventually, but I wasn't expecting it to happen so soon. So, but it's fine because there's a few things I wanted to do beyond what I have already done. So I didn't finish the entire video. One of the builds I did was, if we're gonna have this whole infestation of mobs, then it'll probably be good to protect our little fortress here. Now, these guys aren't very intelligent. They'll just run around randomly, so I don't have to worry too much about them being able to cross over a very narrow passageway. If I want to keep them out of this house, then if I make a moat like this, they're going to have a hard time crossing it. This isn't foolproof, but they are going to have a hard time. There's no objective reason. These guys aren't hostile. They don't have any sort of way to attack you or hinder you in any way. They can't move your blocks or anything like that. They don't have any functionality other than running around. It's just more of a thematic thing, like I have things here. I want them out of my house. I don't want random people roaming around my house. You know how it is. So we're going to make a little moat here that's going to catch all the burglars trying to break into my house and steal my stuff. Okay, so I don't know. Like I said, I don't really know exactly what footage I saved and if I can use any of it. So I'll go over what I do know. What I do know. Let me do this. There we go. What I do know is I want to go over some corrections from my last video. I referred to the first version of Minecraft as Cave Game, which is accurate, but I also said you can't play Cave Game, which is inaccurate, because what I wasn't aware of when I made that first video is Cave Game refers to a decent amount of these early builds. The game is still called Cave Game, even in this update. I believe the next update is the first one where it gains the name Minecraft. Then there's kind of a interesting note about that title, which I'll cover in that video. But Minecraft is not a name that exists yet right now. It's still just generically referred to as Cave Game. So I wanted to just get that correction out there. So now let's talk about this build here. This is what I spent the majority of my time on. And it started out as a sort of gladiator arena type thing. It became, I wanted to make it into a game of some sort. Where, humans would race across a simple platform and race to the goal on the other side. And there were traps and hazards for them to fall into. So, like, as they're jumping around and stuff, they end up falling down here and they get stuck. And there are these corners down here that go all the way down to the void. And if we drop down there, I don't think we'll be able to see anybody. No, but you can see the holes. You can see the holes. That's funny. I think there should be a third one somewhere. Yeah, it's way down there. But, yeah, you can't. They're all too far gone now. So, just like you don't die, the mobs don't die. So the game is actually still keeping track of all of them. I guess I should go into detail about how that works. So, at the start of the game, 100 of these mobs will spawn randomly all around the world, just like you do. And they'll just roam the world. The game will keep track of their positions. Their locations do not get saved when you save the world. So they'll just respawn every time. As you can see, this is a good demonstration right here of their lack of AI. You just saw over there, that guy jumped right off. These guys, they're programmed only to move around randomly. Oh, there we go. This guy looks like he's on his way as well. So they're just going to run around, and over time, they're all just going to run off the edge of the world or get trapped in holes around and stuff. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Don't do it! No! Steve! I don't know why it's so funny to me. But yeah, so like I said, there's not really much you can do to directly interact with them. That's why it's kind of fun just to like try to trap them. It's like, here, let's get this guy. Come here. Oh, no, he got, oh no! Wait, no! It's a lot of fun, dude. Like, no, stop. I'm gonna get you. Yeah, see, look at this. No. Ah! I'm gonna get you, bud. Just you wait. Ha! No! Dang it! So yeah, they are, I gotcha! I got him! Look at you! You're mine now. But not Minecraft, that doesn't come for another update. Boop. I'm gonna send you to the Shadow Realm. I'll give him some light, he can breathe. But he's not getting out. You know what? I'm just gonna leave this mess here. It's a remnant. I can clean it up if I want to build here ever. So yeah, that's why you'll notice a lot of my builds so far have been focused on creating. Look at these guys who try to get into my house. Look at you guys. How many are over here? Ooh, did anybody go into my shrine? This guy's about to. Oh my goodness, look at how many people try to come over here. Yeah, you guys got caught red-handed. Trying to steal my diamonds. There's no diamonds in this build, but you know what? Nobody got through, I bet. My castle. Oh, is this guy gonna go in the well? No, I think that's the guy who is just at the Sphinx. Oh, he's going into my moat. So yeah, I probably should have come over here earlier. I don't think everybody... I think there should still be wandering players over here though, right? Let's see. Yeah, so this whole area is just basically a playground. Like I said, it started as like the idea of like a gladiator arena themed like sports area for them to like play a game of running to the other side. But it kind of turned into just like a playground type area with weird equipment. As far as I'm aware, they can't get over the walls. However, I had a bizarre occurrence. Oh, yay, score! Yep. So, I did have a bizarre occurrence. Okay, they can actually get out. I did not know that, so let me... It's a very precise jump for them to get out, though. And a risky one. But they can, so that's the important observation here. Lessons learned. So yeah, like that's such a precise jump that I can't imagine most of them do it. It seems more likely that they would fall down into the pits. But I get trapped down there. Anyway. So I designed it in such a way where you would check these guys, and they seem to get trapped more consistently up here. Anybody down here? I don't know. Maybe I should run a few more iterations on this and see if I can actually catch how they're getting out or disappearing or where they're going. But for now, this will be a good stopping point for this little game. Maybe it'll be easier for me to monitor once I have more things. Anyway, so mobs don't actually die in this game. Just like how you can't die, these mobs can't die. And even now, all those mobs who have jumped off the edge of the world, they are still being tracked by the game. And they're still falling infinitely in the void. And they're not going to stop. They're just going to stay there until I load up the world again. Or until I close the game. When you close the game, they don't get saved and they disappear. And 100 new ones will load in around the world. As you can see, I didn't check in here, I don't think, with this one. Yes, as you can see, there's only one human here. There were two down here before. They didn't despawn because they don't despawn over time or anything. They'll stay there until you turn the game off. So all the humans that were trapped down here before are still trapped down here. And trying to get out, but they can't get out. They are prisoners now. Anyway, so it's unfortunate. My original plan for this video was to be a sort of test fire for how I would be handling large projects like this. But I finished the entire project already and can't use the footage from building it. I'm not going to rebuild it. But that's fine, because I still had another build that I wanted to do. And that is, I wanted to build a platform high in the sky. Some sort of observational deck. One of the major reasons I want to do this is because I noticed I made it a point in the first game to build on the surface and underground. but I did not make it a point to tower into the sky and build up high. And that's because I wasn't thinking about demonstrating where you could build in a world. I was more so demonstrating the main features of building and digging that were added in the previous build. So I didn't consider testing the limits of them. It wasn't really showcasing individual areas, but now I do actually want to showcase different parts of the world. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to tower as high as the game will let me, which should be at 64 blocks. So this is the peak. This is as high as I can go. It's honestly a little sad. But I'm going to dig down 4, so now we're at 60. No! You know what? It's fine. You know what? That's actually probably good, because I realize a limitation of this strategy here. Let's build. Alright, so for this section, we're going to fast forward a little bit, and we're going to go into some post-commentary. I've never really done post-commentary before. I've fast-forwarded a little bit earlier in this video, and I apologize if the visuals are a little choppy, as you can see. I'm still very new to editing, and this is my first time ever fast-forwarding a project. Hopefully, over time, I'll learn newer techniques, but yeah, maybe I fast-forwarded too much, condensed it too much. Future videos, I'll try to work on this a little better. Anyway, as you can see right here, we're using some towering to build these walls all the way up to the world's height. This is to keep ourselves from falling off while we're building the staircase and climbing the staircase. In the meantime, you can see clearly how smooth building is in this version. It's very helpful that you don't have to worry about fall damage yet, because there is no damage in the game. And in addition, being able to place blocks on top of yourself makes towering like this a lot faster. One thing that makes building more difficult, as you'll notice when we get to actually building around the top here, is we don't have a sneak command. One thing I brought up during the original commentary in this section was the sneak command doesn't actually happen very easily here. It is introduced in a version that has a very interesting story, which we'll go over when we get around to it, but obviously we don't have any sneak controls yet, and you'll see in a little bit, because we don't have a sneak feature to keep ourselves from falling off, I will fall off a couple times here. So it is a bit of agonizing climbing all the way back out to the top of the tower. So there's not really much else to talk about. I just wanted to fill up some of this dead space because my original commentary was filled with a lot of dead air. And I just felt like it was fitting to do post-commentary for this section. In future videos, I will probably do more post-commentary for larger projects similar to this. This was the original plan for the playground area over there. But, yeah, so I just wanted to, add a little design to this. Again, I'm not a super intelligent designer by any means. I don't expect this build to blow anybody's minds. We're about done here, so I'll see you in live commentary again. So we have our little war grounds over there. Got our monument over there. We got the playground over there. And we got our initial builds over there. We got some prisoners, the Sphinx. I think this is kind of cool. Let's take a step back and look at this tower from a distance. Let's actually just respawn here. That looks pretty cool, I think. It's really dark. Lighting is still really dark. I think that's fixed in the next update as well. And yeah. So, I don't think there's much else to talk about here. Unfortunately, this is supposed to be a much larger video than it was. It's supposed to cover a whole lot more. I'm trying to think. We have our moat. We have that. So next, I think all we really have to worry about now is the next update. So the next update is the first really big update. It's also going to be the first major disappointment with our returning, with maintaining this world. So it's going to be the first time we need to generate a new world in order to explore all the new features. But that's okay, I think, because the next version, it's got a lot of new stuff. And technically, so our next video is not going to cover one, but two versions together. Like these two versions, the next two versions are very similar to each other, but one makes a small addition, or the second of the two makes a very small addition to the first. But more significantly, the first version is not in the launcher. It is listed in the launcher, but it's actually not there. And I'll explain it in more detail, what I mean by that, when we get there. But yeah, so the next two versions we're going to be covering are features added in RD 2009 0515. That's May 15th, 2009. If you haven't caught on, these version titles are named after dates, but not named after dates. They're named after day and month, or day and time, normally. So this version is 13/23/28. That means that it's the 13th of the month at 23 hours and 28 minutes. So that's, in standard time, that I believe is 11:28. I would assume that that's probably May 13th. But that's the date that the build was created. Not necessarily uploaded, I think, but created. The feature is introduced in RD 2009 515 050 RD 2009 0515 are the ability to place blocks. We already can place blocks, but the ability to select blocks. So, as mentioned before, we can't choose what blocks we place right now. In the next update, we'll be able to place it. So, we can place other blocks. We don't just have to place stone everywhere. We can build with varying materials. Oh, I'm down here. Don't you dare. Okay. The next update also updates the stone texture, and it introduces cobblestone, which uses this old stone texture, as well as introducing dirt and updating the grass texture to include the more well-known textures that you think about when you think about Minecraft grass, which is exciting. So that's where I think the game is going to start really looking like Minecraft to a lot of people. But it's going to take a while, I think, before most people are getting to the point where they're like nostalgic with the specific builds. Because I think a lot of people are probably nostalgic with the version of Minecraft Classic that was available on the desktop or in the browser for so long for free, and then early Minecraft Survival. I'm down here now. Anyway, so the next update also introduces another new block, which is wood. It introduces planks. No, they're not called wood, it's called planks. And so yeah, we can start building with planks, we can start building with dirt, we can start building with cobblestone and stone. But a downside is if we want to build in this world, Unfortunately, if I'm understanding how this works, grass is no longer going to be available in this world. The reason is because you can no longer directly place grass. You have to place dirt, and it has to become grass. We'll go over how that works later, but the reason we won't be able to have grass in this world anymore is the fact that we won't have grass. Yes, the reason we won't have grass is because when we load this world up in the next version, all of this, every block in this world is going to be replaced with stone. And that's incredibly unfortunate. I'm not sure why that is, but I suppose it's just like a way to handle an error with when they update it, with how they chose to update the grass. So, if you have any ideas for builds that use those features that you'd like to see added to this world, keeping in mind that it's gonna be kind of a stone gray wasteland, uh, leave them in the comments, and I will choose my favorites to add in. Oh, I should also mention the actual version we will be playing is RD160052, which I assume is May 16th at 1:52 in the morning. Sorry, 12:52. That doesn't add anything significant in terms of building. It just adds particle effects. Again, we'll cover that in more detail. There's not really any detail to cover there, but yeah. So RD160052 is the next version we'll be playing. We're going to be covering all of the many differences in the Lost 2009-05-15 build. I'm not going to be covering those in a documentary style because it's so similar to the next version that it feels kind of redundant to do that just to follow up with another video that says, so now we're going to play this version that's exactly the same as that version we just talked about and so it was lost. So yeah, I don't think there's too much to worry about there. But I do think it's worth noting. So that's about it. Please, if you enjoyed this video, please like it, and if you want to see more, subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Oh, I also want to leave like dead space for title cards and cards, so they're gonna be there and there. I can't point at them because they're gonna be in the sides of the screen, but you get the picture. Um, I'm going to have a subscribe button on the screen. I'm also going to have two pictures. I think it's pretty cool that you can just do that in post-production after uploading a video. Or while uploading a video to YouTube. I think that's cool. But, yeah. So, this is the end of that title card section. So, bye-bye. Bye-bye. BXBs. For bye. I'm sorry.